Weather's forecast first.
You know, we got stuck with a really nice day again here in the Texas Panhandle. Not feeling like late October, early November. Doesn't feel like fall outside. Feels a little bit more like late summer, but we'll certainly take it. Sky's clear from our Canyon E-Way Tower camera and on the satellite and radar picture as well. Some light rain south and southwest of Dallas, and that's it for the Lone Star State. Hardly saw the clouds up in this area. Those winds turned out of the north this afternoon, but not a whole lot of wind. We couldn't really feel it, so that's the good news. And temperatures mild outside, cooling off. 66 here in downtown, 59 out at the airport. It is going to be a cold morning tomorrow morning. We're going to be in the lower 40s, even the 30s in some parts of the Texas Panhandle. But after a chilly start, we're back to where we were today. More of that forecast is coming up. But first, here's what's happening tonight in the news.
From KCIT TV, this is Fox 14 News at 9 in high definition.
An early morning crash sends someone to the hospital. See what may have caused that wreck in just a moment. Plus, 2 people are ejected off a motorcycle this morning. How speed may have been a factor. Straight ahead. And early voting is right around the corner. Details on where you can go to cast your ballot from your local election headquarters. That's all coming up on the Fox 14 News at 9. One person is dead after an early morning wreck. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Blessing Wilkesman. Jordan Chavez has the night off. Police say speed, alcohol, and a lack of seatbelts are believed to be factors in the crash. That story's first on Fox. Officers were called out to the 3200 block of Georgia. Officials say a car was speeding northbound on South Georgia from 34th Avenue. Police say the driver lost control of the car and then hit a tree. We're told a juvenile passenger was killed as a result of the collision. The driver was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Speed and not wearing helmets are believed to be factors in another early morning collision. Officers were called out to a wreck on South Bell and I-27. Police say a motorcycle tried to make a turn onto the I-27 frontage road when the driver lost control and hit a curb. Officials say both the driver and the passenger were ejected. The passenger was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We're told the driver had non-life-threatening injuries as well. A car is broken into and burglarized. According to the Canyon Police Department Facebook page, a man and a woman are both suspects in that incident. We're told that it resulted in someone's credit card being used at a Walmart. If you have any information on this incident, you're asked to call Canyon Police. Now, the dry weather over the last few days has made this time perfect to start getting cotton out of the field. But there's a lot that goes into making the harvest happen. Alyssa Gord shows us how farmers plan on kicking off the season.
It's a good feeling to get started.
Dalen Hancock and Lloyd Arthur are kicking off another year of harvesting precious South Plains cotton.
You can kind of feel in your bones how the machine's running. And sometimes I can detect something going wrong before a buzzer or something will go off.
Both come from generations of farmers and have 70 years of cotton harvesting experience between them. After delays from last week's rains, conditions are finally right to harvest.
My granddaddy always said, do different what you did last year because there's no 2 years the same.
Last year, these farmers dealt with issues in the quality of their cotton, but this year things are turning around.
It looks like one of our best crops in the last 5 years. We're excited about it.
And Plains cotton growers say that if this weather keeps up, we're going to have a season that's on track to be the largest cotton growing season on the South Plains since 2010.
It's a welcome change off of having 5 years of drought.
While the moisture this year helps, they still face some stress because cotton prices aren't where they want them to be.
You can have good yields, but if you don't have price, it's all for naught. And right now we're struggling with lower prices than what we've seen in the past 4 or 5 years.
It's a race against time, hoping that Mother Nature stays on their side.
Once that plant opens, it's not going to ever be any better than the day that it's ready.
This machine back here will be my home during the day for 10, 12 hours at a time.
By the time we get through, everybody will be glad when we get to the last row.
Alyssa Gord, KMAC News.
You can get more news and headlines on our website. That's myhighplains.com. Now, after nearly a year and a half of hearing the candidates voice why you should vote for them, tomorrow Texans have their chance to let their voice be heard by voting early. Fox 14's Zach Martin caught up with a few registered voters about why they decided to vote early and what you will need to bring to the polls before you cast your vote. We are your local election headquarters.
Tomorrow is the big day for Texas as early voting begins across the state. And with the record number of registered voters in Texas being broken this year, many believe getting their vote in early is as crucial now as ever.
Because we like to avoid the crowds. And I know that there may be lines where we go. We plan on voting tomorrow at, I think, Amigos.
But it's just like anything else in life. You get it out of the way right off the bat, and you know, you have peace about it, and then you can just sit back and watch everything else.
However, you don't want to drive down to the ballot box without some information that is required. For starters, they require voter ID. This includes a photo ID, which can include your driver's license, military ID, handgun license, a citizenship certificate with your picture, or your U.S. passport.
I have my driver's license with my, you have to have an ID, a picture ID, and then I have my voter registration card with me.
Voters we spoke with believe that while all presidential elections are gravely important, this election is more vital based on where the country is today.
I want our people taken care of. I want us to worry about us. I want what's best for the country that I live in.
For some people who do not plan on voting, they say they have their reasons.
People will disagree with me. I don't feel like I have a right to vote because I don't really know enough about it. So if I go and vote for somebody who's the wrong choice, just because somebody said they were a good choice, I just don't have the knowledge for that.
If there's no possible way for someone to get a photo ID, you're not out of luck. Officials say if a person has a legitimate reason for not obtaining a photo ID, they can still sign an affidavit explaining why. They can then vote with a voter registration card or a bank statement or a utility bill or several other forms. Reporting live in studio, Zach Martin, Fox 14 News. Blessing.
Zach, thank you. There are several places where you can vote all across the city. For a full look at the polling places and what's on the ballot, we have that posted for you on our website. That's myhighplains.com. Now, the cost of higher education continues to be a major problem. Coming up, find out why college students are graduating with more than just a degree. But first, we'll check back in with Corey.
Hey, thanks, Blessing. More mild and warm weather is headed our way pretty much area-wide across the Texas Panhandle. More on that forecast coming up. But first, soil temperatures outside, 66 degrees at 2 inches below ground level and 65 at 6. Weather is coming up right after this on Fox 14 News at 9.